You know they got that same name, but different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't
and
got
Keisha,
it, you
man.
can get some if you heard them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
All right, so Michele is.
Don't introduce me now.
Okay, I'm not going to introduce you one time. Okay, so she's just going to roll with us. All right. So I went to the DR, y'all.
Girl, what's the DR?
The Dominican
I
Republic.
want for some people, you know how they do.
Oh, okay. And there was so
Everybody
many people.
don't know stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the easy one, though.
There were so many people who were trying to cut up about the DR. Like, they were like, oh, my God, all these people are dying. How are you going? Da-da-da. We heard so many people call us
So
on the
you
phone.
were concerned, because I was.
You were, I know, because you called me.
I know, and I don't call nobody. I was like,
I don't know if necessarily I was concerned. I mean, I'm cautious anyway. I grew up in Chicago, so even when I go home.
See, there you go.
No, I'm just talking about certain areas. Like you, the same way. You like down here. If I don't unlock the door, if I don't do certain things, I don't worry about it as much. But when I didn't unlock my door, they ransacked my car. It's just certain things. So I know how to bring my height sense of awareness up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, because it can happen anywhere. Absolutely, 100%. And I hate when people say Chirac.
What did you do there? What did you do? What happened?
What do you
Tell us
mean?
about your time.
We were on
in the DR.
vacation. We
So,
went. It
what
was
did you
an
do?
all-inclusive resort. I went with my sister-in-law and her 360 gym. It's a gym that she's a part of, and they do like this big bikini challenge every year. And so they did their stuff. We went on a land tour where we went and saw all the beautifulness of DR. Ate the food, listened to the music,
Haiti?
go to the beach. We did not go to Haiti, but we went to some sugar canes, and they were telling us about the Haitians. And for example, like they get health care and they get a stipend, they get different things. But so where their average lifespan is like 80, 85, in Haiti it's about 10 to 20 years less because of the conditions.
Yeah,
so a lot of
poor
them come
health
over
conditions.
and they work the tobacco fields or the sugar canes to make money, because where the average and somebody who's poverty may earn $6,000, $7,000 a year, is like $1,500 in Haiti, something like that. So it can be pretty
I
bad.
saw the documentary.
Yeah, and they do just like this. It's like how the U.S. is. You can come over and work, and when you're done working, you got to go back for those 2 months or whatever, and then you can come back. And they were like, they're here, they're working all this time, they're not causing any trouble, and so a lot of Dominicans are like, we need to hear there with the fact that y'all can come over here and let them do all this work. So they have to like 6,000 pounds in order to like earn $10 or $20 or something. It's something real crazy.
Ridiculous. Okay, now tell us something good that happened in the DR. Come on, girl. What you do?
Girl, we
Did
met
you come
some
back with your
people-
virginity?
We we met some people who were swingers. We did. We met some swingers. Okay, so it was this chick named Queen, and Queen was like, yeah, we swingers. So it was like 45 of them there,
45, good.
girl, and they were talking about how they roll, like they do these trips and stuff, or they had these little parties, and they was like, how do you play is the thing. So I found out what a pillow princess is.
What's a pillow princess?
Huh. So like
You
this.
don't know nothing.
Okay, and right, this is Peaches though. Peaches was talking to these people, and it was so funny. She was like, "What?" Because she knows you a liar. That's what you are.
I'm a virgin. If Donald Trump can be president, I can be a damn virgin. Go ahead.
Okay, but anyway, a pillow princess. So when a guy or a woman wants to get with someone who's married, like their spouse or whatever, they always ask the woman. So if it's a woman, she'll ask the woman. If it's a man, he'll ask the man. And so she told her, "We're good, but I'm a pillow princess. So that means that you can come and you can do all this stuff to me, but I don't do anything back. I'm just a receiver." From all of that, from everything.
I thought it was something dirty.
What do you mean?
What? Like,
I don't
what
know.
did you want it to be?
No, I didn't expect that. I was thinking something
What?
dirty, but it's just she don't do anything else. Okay, all
Right. And so the lady was like, well, look, if I'm going to do XYZ to you and you ain't doing nothing, I'm out. We ain't about to do that. So, and then there was another guy who was in there. He was talking about how he watched a guy have sex with his wife for the first time. And it really like excited him to the point where he was like, he can't do the stuff that I can do to her. So we kept asking, like, is there ever a moment where y'all get jealous?
Do the same thing. The same body parts.
You know it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's the same body
What do you
parts that
mean?
he said
So
he
you
can't do
think
what I can do.
right?
He
But
can do it.
but hold on. So you think the experience you had with your ex-husband is the same experience you have with your current boyfriend?
No, I'm saying sex is the same, not the experience.
That's what I'm
saying
asking.
The same body parts match up to the same body parts. They do.
No, they don't.
So intercourse don't happen the same way.
That's different.
No,
that's
than
the
what you
point I'm
just
making.
said. The body
No.
parts aren't necessarily the same.
No, I'm not saying the body parts are the same. I'm saying you have sex. The two shall mingle. That's how
Right.
you have sex.
Girl,
Just 'cause
go
you deal
ahead
with
on
different
somewhere. I don't know
people.
why you sitting up here be
Something
trying to.
can hit you
She
a
be
different
killing
way.
me when it. No, just stop it. 'cause
I'm a
we
virgin.
had-
Y'all enlighten me.
Shut up.
Come
we done
on,
had
tell
some.
me how y'all
She
do.
picking. Ain't nobody.
Tell me
Let's
how
move
y'all
on.
do it.
No, we moving on. Ain't nobody
I'm
playing
about
with
to
you.
leave the room. Call me when you ready.
You gonna turn into Megan
Next, because
McCain.
that's
Oh, my
not what
God.
the little topic says.
Look,
Right,
you gonna
the
turn
topic
into
said-
Megan
I know
McCain.
Pilly
We gonna-
Princess.
Hey, this is open up.
You
You
said
gonna
you'll
turn
see
into
her.
Megan McCain. She gonna talk about sex on the view. I ain't talking about sex.
Oh,
Like,
whatever.
girl,
This is
go
not my
somewhere.
show.
Right.
That's your show. So I don't have to talk
Okay,
about
so I went to Chi. I went to
All right, let's
Chi-Town. We had a house music picnic. So but it had to start really getting popular by the time we were in high school. It wasn't really before that, was it? House music?
I've only been,
I don't think it was as
I
popular.
don't think people really care that much, but go ahead, girl.
They do care.
They don't care about
love
when it
house
was
music.
popular.
Yes, it
I don't feel like
does.
that.
It
Tell
does.
us what happened at your
still
party.
Let me tell you. You don't tell me what people don't care about. I'm gonna say what I want to say,
No,
Keisha.
I'm saying, tell us what happened. You
So
stopped
anyway,
telling us about the party,
this is the
trying to
one
figure out
time
what
that
house was
so
awesome.
many. Well, because I was trying to say that.
Hey, don't be telling our landlord. I told him about that AC.
He said the rent going up if you don't shut up. He already said that. He said you got one more
Not
thing
up in
because people be
here.
telling him what you be saying. He
But see-
said tell Keisha. I said the rent is going up if she don't get it
But
together.
it wasn't me this time. Then
I'm
you
a
just
church
said,
fan.
I said,
Let
don't
me
talk
tell you.
about my landlord.
No, I'm
Church
just telling you what he
fan,
said. Okay, so at any rate, it was a great time. A couple of things happened. One, that's an opportunity for literally 10,000
They said
people.
20,000.
20,000 people, majority African Americans that will come out, spend a day in a park from like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, no mess, and having a great time. The music was amazing. They brought a bunch of artists.
Shootout. You know, President Trump say that in Chicago they just shoot all the time.
No.
That's what he say about y'all. Y'all need to whip his ass.
And you
I don't know what
always
y'all
repeating
waiting on.
it. That's part of the
No,
problem.
That is.
repeat
Yes,
it.
you do.
It
You
is.
constantly
You always
repeat it.
do. Y'all hate on
no,
Chicago.
that's a lie.
It's
I
ridiculous.
About Chicago?
Kanye West.
No. You be hating on
I said
Chi.
Everything
from
about
Chi.
Chicago.
What are you
Stop
talking
repeating
about?
what
You
a
don't be hating
retard
on Chi.
says.
No, I said Kanye from Chi.
Okay, wait, pause it,
That's
pause
a
it.
hate.
Now remember, because you said that, right? Because anytime something go down, R. Kelly from Shy. So no, I'm just saying, no.
I ain't saying
It's
about
a
shooting up each other. President Trump said y'all got violence in Chi. I ain't say about violence. I'm talking about who come from the Chi.
It's violence.
That's talking
Let's
about.
keep it
It is
real.
definitely violence everywhere. So for people
If
to
my
talk about
girl
the,
from the Chi is watching.
Let me
girl,
tell you
they
something.
be lying, girl. I don't be saying.
let me tell you
it.
something. The two things places people talked about, I've been in the past week and a half.
So you about that life.
Right. They talk about Chicago. They talked about D.I. I done survived them both, and
You got that
I'm all
life.
right,
You
y'all.
got
It's
your
all
game-
good.
You got your game cred.
Girl,
Go throw up
stop
your
it.
side.
Stop it right now. You being ridiculous.
No,
So anyway, we have we have this
y'all.
house. I know we have this house music picnic. It's amazing. It was a great time. The music was amazing. The people, out drinking, hanging out, eating, just merry, just having a great time. So it was good. Michelle was there. She came. We hung out. We walked around. We kicked it. We danced. You had a good time.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a great
Absolutely.
time. Yeah.
It's a wonderful time. The weather was perfect.
It
The
was.
70s, so you can
It
be
was.
outside all day.
All day.
It was
Without
nice.
sweat
Now,
and hot.
now you talking my language because you
it
talking
was
about that
good.
windy city. Woo, no. You know,
Now, I
can't do
did get a
cold
little
weather.
chilly the next
What?
day.
I
But
can't
we was
do
good.
cold weather. See, she said
Chili was
because she from
70.
Florida.
That's not.
Yeah.
You know, it
It
got to be
wasn't
90.
bad. It was beautiful.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about with these two finance ladies over here. Michelle, like I said, being an independent businesswoman, and then Keisha, she recently got her, well, not recently. When did you get your master's in finance?
2012.
In 2012, and then she works also for a company doing all of their stuff. So do you guys ever feel like there was a class about money that they should have took, and somehow you may have skipped it?
yes.
Do you think that our parents did a good job with?
I actually have been thinking about this a lot lately, and I do not understand why I know and everybody else doesn't know. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a choice that I made, that I wanted to study finance and be aware of numbers, and I like numbers, but I don't recall specifically, taking a class. And I went to, you would have considered a selective enrollment school, a private grammar school, but then I studied finance and accounting in college. So I don't know.
Do you
why
think you
people
just
have
took?
missed it.
Yeah, because I was like, when you on average 10%, 20%, how many think people really know about how to maintain their finances? 50.
You know what? Honestly, I think white people know more because they tend to tell their kids how to do it. When a few months ago, matter of fact, about a year ago, when me and Cliff and this young white girl, what's her name, at the Gap.
Okay.
She was the manager, and we were talking about finances, and she was on point. She was like 22 years old, and I was like, listen to her. She was saying, I put all my money away. I don't touch it. I don't buy this. I don't want that. And I was like, wow. And I'm like looking at her going.
But do you think it's white versus is it cultural, or do you think it's economical? Social economic class. You know what I'm saying?
Money. That's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying. So it don't make a difference if you white or black, because there are black people that have money that talk to their kids.
I'm saying the fact that when we were talking to her, I feel like people with money tend to know how to express how to deal with money.
Right, but you were saying white people.
Yeah, because most blacks are socially economically challenged because we. Don't look crazy, because what I'm going to say, we already talking about reparations with the fact that we are so far behind, because that's how the system is set up to keep us behind. But we've come above that. But I'm saying the system itself held blacks down, and one reason to do that is to make sure that we don't know how to do our finances. They have. Let me put it this way: the way Oprah put it, we could get rich. They have wealth. They have generational wealth. No, not all of them. No, we're talking about the fact that they have generational wealth that we don't have. If our ancestors are slaves and their ancestors were the ones who owned us, they have generational wealth.
Right, and I think that the percentage of those who have that compared to, I think like 60% of just say Americans, not whatever color you are. Mm-hmm. If you fit in a certain tax bracket, you either know about money and how to do it, or you don't. The less money you make, the less you know about it. And then the more, and when you sit in the middle, it's like you feel like you have to like be like the Joneses and have all these things, and you spending more than you earn. And then there are some that are really good at managing it, but they do it to such a fault to where they don't really enjoy it anyway. So creating that balance, like I think you should save, you should be able to do whatever, but I think so many people get so wrapped up and can be on one end of the extreme and get so wrapped up in it that they don't enjoy it, and then you got those who enjoy it way too much. So it's just, I don't know, but I think it's more.
Susan Orman says it. She says that money has an emotional connection. And when you see the way people spend it, you can tell the emotional connection to it. Because like some people think they have to buy stuff in order to feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. So when you get rid of the emotional connection, which is hard to think about, you have to sit back and say, do I need this or do I want this? Mm-hmm. Or I'm just buying this because it's sitting in front of me. Mm-hmm. So you have to really figure out the emotional connection of what's going on with your spending habits.
Okay. Do you think that women know their worth?
No. Look at the U.S. soccer team who just won. They made 18 cents. What was it? They said something less than on $1 than the men. And the men are horrible and didn't even make the playoffs. And these women have won the league. They won their championship.
Were we talking about that? How they won?
They talked about it recently.
$11,000 they won a game, or $1,100 a game?
No, it was about $1,800 or $1,500 a game.
Yeah.
And they play 20 games.
And
the men make $15,000 a game. And then if the men lose, they would still get paid. But if the women lost, they didn't get paid. And
what they was talking about is the men are trash. They are horrible.
They have not won.
But
that is true.
But you guys think that do we play as women a part in us not defining our worth, or do you think it's just we've allowed this to happen? Well, then it's the same thing. Do we continue to allow it to happen? Like, how do we?
Well, one of the things that we've talked about here, and what we was talking about with Nike when they were saying that they, weren't paying the ladies on maternity leave, we found out it's only men in the room who make that decision. We're not even at the table making the decisions on how we should be getting paid.
Well, you know what, and I know we've had this discussion with this, Michelle. You could definitely give your opinion on it. When I think about money being paid, I'm thinking about if we're both running athletes and we getting paid $20 million a piece. If the woman getting paid 6, the guy getting paid 20, then that's the spirit. I didn't necessarily agree with what Keisha was saying about when she go on maternity leave or when she doing whatever and they pressure her to come back because of whatever. Because I think from a business standpoint, that's what they looking at. I mean, so it's the same thing if a guy broke his leg and did whatever. I mean, so it's always something that can get in the way of you earning your money because you really are just a product to them. I mean, it don't make a difference if you male or female. I mean, I think if we looked at the men and some of the stuff they've done and they've had the men out. But
because
it's a business.
So
it's a
here's
business.
the thing with the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, well, hold on. Let her respond to that, and then you do it because we've heard both of our views on that. I was asking her if she.
Okay, I'm mad.
What's the question?
Like, so this one here was
like generally speaking.
Yeah,
like why do women get paid less? Have we allowed that to happen?
And that's what I was talking about. But she
about?
talked about how when the women are pregnant and then the Nike and them were pressuring them to come back and they wasn't treating them well with that. I don't think that connects to me. Like, it's a difference in how much we're going to get paid and then worrying about if I've had a baby and can I come back and still perform my duties.
But I don't think that was the issue. Was they wanted them to come back sooner, and the women didn't necessarily want to come back. So now you see that there's a push for men to actually have the same amount of maternity leave that women have. So they also realize that it's important to be at home with the wife and the baby and the kids. The men can't have kids. So in order for humanity to continue, we must have babies.
Right.
So if I'm the only one who can bear the brunt of having the baby, that's automatic. So I should be paid regardless of if I have to go on maternity leave or not. But then you also have to realize that there's trends and stuff in different businesses. And if you have people who run track, they're going to be younger and of a younger age. And what I also found, we could talk about this with Venus and Serena. For example, people used to get on them because they wouldn't go to every tournament. They decided they wanted to go to college. Because in the tennis world, women, men, whoever, you always had to go to work. You always had to go to every tournament. You never did anything else. All you did was eat, breathe, sleep, tennis.
Okay.
So Nike, as more women start to infiltrate these professions, they're going to have to take a look at the difference in how women need to be treated or managed versus how men need to be treated or managed. Period. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's gonna always be an issue until we get into the boardroom and sit at those places, because women's tennis, for example, again, I love tennis, and it's the Wimbledon tennis going right now. If it wasn't for Venus and Serena and Billie Jean King fighting for equal pay. Yeah. So in order to get that equal pay, though, the women had to say, yes, we'll rotate night matches and day matches. At first, all the women only played during the day. And the men women all soft or whatever, and they had the prime spot. So you want equal pay, you have to be willing to start your match at 11 p.m. at night. Who cares? Because the rotation is now men to women. So women are going to have to sacrifice as well. But if not for the money and the fame of the Williams sisters, there wouldn't have been equal pay even in tennis, for example. That's an example.
That's right. So let me add the Golden State Warriors. Remember the player that came back early, and now they're saying that he might be out for a while. You know, he did more damage because they was pushing him to come back. Kevin Durant. Okay. And thank you.
I got you.
Thank you. Because I was like, what's his name? It's a D. But Kevin Durant. So even looking at him, pushing your body to do something that it's not ready to do just to make a team money. See, this is the thing that upsets me about the woman that they wanted to come back real early. You can ruin her body from that if she don't take the time to actually heal from a C-section, from an emergency pregnancy, only because you want to make money.
Correct. And I'm not even, and I was telling you when you said this originally, I'm not necessarily debating any of that. What I am saying that as women, men, whatever. I know women make more difficult choices when it comes to their careers and sacrificing having a family than anybody. I did. We were just talking about that. Right. You know how, listen, when you really think about how much we sacrifice, if you're really a great mom, there's a bunch of sacrifices you make. So when she sat down and weighed the options on, I want to have this baby, I want Nike, want to still, earn money, but then as a track star, eventually her time is going to come to an end anyway because of the younger girls that's coming in and winning and doing whatever.
You missed
so
the
she's
whole
trying
point
to
of
max
that
up.
story. She had an emergency C-section.
I heard that.
No, I'm
that.
saying her plan got ruined.
Yeah.
The plan
Okay.
that she had
I
for
ain't
the
even
baby.
talking about the plan.
No, but that's what
She
you just said.
decided
She
to have a
sat down.
child. It don't make a difference
but-
what happened with
but
it. She
what I'm
decided to
saying-
have a child. Weighing the options of having a kid, no matter if she had a natural birth or C-section, was still going to cause an issue.
You missed the point. Her plan got
I did
changed.
not miss the point.
Her plan was to have her baby, do her 6 weeks or whatever in maternity leave, and come back to work. She ended up in an emergency situation.
I know
where
that.
She had
That
to have
don't
a
change
C-section,
what I'm
and
saying.
It changed the fact that what you're saying is that
don't.
you decided to sit down and have a baby, and now
Yes.
And what I'm saying is she had an emergency. When we have an emergency, when they call you and say DJ sick, you're not gonna say, but I gotta stay here for the school. No, you're gonna get up and you're gonna go see about your child.
No, what I'm going
And
to
her
say
child had to
is
be
when
taken
she
out her body
decided to
early.
become a mother, period. When she decided to become a mother, period. I don't care if it was an emergency C-section. I don't care if she had they split her open and had whatever. When she decided to have a child, she know that came with some risk of her not earning the same amount of money that she did because she was making a choice to have a child. So even before she started, she hid the pregnancy because I've read the little articles about it for those reasons because she was trying to decide initially, well, she was going to keep the baby, and just doing a lot of the stuff. And I know that was hard for
that
her.
means she
I'm
had a
not
plan,
saying
yeah.
that she really was
had a
as
plan.
support or did any of those type of things. I'm just saying that when she makes that sacrifice to do that, it's unfortunate that this company that she works for wants to continue to make their money. And if that means they're going to bring in a younger something and keep doing it or whatever, they've been pimping them for years. Just
I
the
think
bottom line
it's
period.
unfortunate that nobody that made that decision was a woman. It was unfortunate that she did not have an advocate in the room to say, hey, this woman's body is going through something. We need to allow her to get better. But she didn't have that because the only people that was making the decision were all men who have a disconnect with having a baby because they never had one. Correct? If I was in the room or you was in the room, we would all be saying, no, this lady need to get herself back together before she could come and make money for us. We don't want to mess up her body any further. But guess what?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I just don't necessarily agree with that.
I understand you don't
No,
agree.
but you just
what
made
I'm
a comment and
saying to
said that
you
if one of us in the room, we would say that. I'm not saying that I would
I'm
necessarily
just
say
saying that there was no female.
Right,
at the
even if I was the
table.
female
But
at the table, if this was my
I
business,
wouldn't want you to be the female at
And
the
that's
table
fine.
right now.
But
But
if
I need a female
but
that's
if-
got me. I don't need a female that's got Nike.
No,
I need a female that's going to
it's
advocate
like I was just
for me.
about to say, if it was my business and the way I made money was based on these athletes and what they were going to do,
Then what
I'm
happened
not
to
saying that I would not. What does Christianity
have to do with
I
it?
know. Listen,
Stop
it's
it.
got everything to do
No,
with
it
it.
No, it
So
doesn't.
you don't care about mankind.
I think the
Jesus
question
care about
is,
people
My
not
point
making
is
money.
that
Go ahead.
when I signed a contract with you, the contract was for both of us to make money. Is that not correct?
So
you
you
didn't
can
you
make
didn't
more
come to
money
me because
when you're
Jesus
better.
said, "Come work for me and hang out." No,
Yes.
you wanted to make money, so we're not gonna bring Jesus in this. What we are gonna
Jesus
say
in
is,
everything. God.
"Shut up, go on with,
Go on with your
so
bad
ignorant.
self. Anyway, so what we're trying to say is women.
No,
need
we're
to
not
have
trying
more
to say
people-
that.
No,
We're not.
We're not. What I'm trying
There
to
you
say
go. Speak for
is
yourself.
women need to have more advocacies in the business. We need people to be there rooting for us and making sure that we make more money, making sure that we get the proper care that we need, and making sure that their business can still thrive. Just because she took an extra long time don't mean you losing money. You're gonna have a better person when coming back instead of a half not healed person coming to work. So
Well,
you got
I feel
to
like
think
that's
better for
why,
your business.
as people think
As
about
a
stuff, they
businesswoman,
have
what do you
agents.
think?
Right, 'cause that's
no.
what-
If you
let me
take care of your
think. Okay,
employee, you're gonna have a better
Got you.
business.
Okay,
If you take
that's
care
your
of
opinion,
employees.
and my opinion is
No,
that
that's a
I
fact.
have an investment I'm trying to protect. You have it ain't no fact. Shut up. You have an
So if you
investment
got
you
an
trying to
employee
protect.
that's
You trying to
sick,
protect.
you think they gonna help your business?
You have an investment you trying to protect. I have an investment I'm trying to protect. That's why you have agents.
a fact.
Because the people who you are doing business with do not have any real vested interest in you. Your agent does. Y'all make an agreement. That's a business agreement.
Don't
Everybody
have a
walks away
vested-
happy.
Listen what you just said.
Oh, I know
Don't
what I said.
have a real vested interest
No.
in you. If you're not,
Your
if
job
you're not-
don't either.
Excuse me.
If you something
I'm-
happen to you, they gonna get rid of you and
if
find somebody
you
else.
are
That's
not-
business.
If you are not healthy.
It don't matter.
If you are not
if you're not healthy,
healthy,
Keisha, on that
how
job
you
you're on
gonna-
right now,
Excuse
they gonna
me.
get rid of you and find somebody else to do the job. They ain't got no vested interest. They
Oh.
want to make money.
Okay, getting louder and screaming at me. So if you are a athlete, there you go.
I don't know why y'all keep looking at me because you won't let me talk. I am not a fighter. I'm a lover,
you
not a
are an
fighter.
athlete and your
We gonna let you
business.
talk. Let
If
Michele
you're
talk.
an
Let
athlete and
Michele
your
talk.
business, let me finish my thought. If you're an athlete and your business is your body and your health, that makes them money. So carry
I know
on.
that. Everybody
you don't
got
know
it.
that.
I do know that.
No, you don't.
I know.
You
Go
said
ahead.
it's opinion.
I forgot my thought like 3
fact.
times. I think without following the entire story, because I can't say that I have. I remember seeing it briefly. The issue for me is more, did you treat her differently than if she was a man? So say just because she was pregnant, was that what was the issue? Or if it was the same amount of time that a male athlete could have been off for pulling a hamstring, breaking a leg or whatever, was she still compensated and treated the same? That's what my concern would be. And if the answer is no, then yes, we need advocates. And I don't know. I'm saying I don't know.
She just said a no.
It was a no. That's the whole point of the women's story.
No, it's not.
They were not being treated the same.
No, she said if it was an injury that had happened, we do not know that. You can't. Well, then give me somebody who had an injury where they got treated better than this. Since you have facts, produce that fact right now.
That's my point. So if
she can't produce that
to me,
fact.
that
She
would be
don't
the
know.
issue. That would be the issue.
Know that.
We want to be treated fairly. If we're doing the same amount of work or doing more likely we're doing more work and getting paid less.
Mick, what are we finding out about women nowadays? And since we're unveiling the covers and snatching off the Band-Aid, what do we find out? That women are being treated what? Worse than men. They are making less money, doing more work, and required to do more, and not making the same amount of money.
Yep.
Right. And my thing was, like I said at the very beginning, it wasn't about if we doing the same job and we making the amount of money. We add in all these other factors of having kids and doing other kind of stuff.
So
and like
all I'm saying is the equivalent of having a baby and being on maternity leave. Is there some equivalency for a player being injured? So, for example, we could use NBA. We could use the NBA. We could use the NFL because they generally have more strenuous injuries, right? So Kevin Durant, we know, is going to be off for at least a year.
They ruined that man.
So if he's going to be off a year, and if they're an equivalent for the WNBA or another one or something else, that it's okay for him to be off for a year and he'll get paid, his money regardless. But the woman would not be entitled to that same.
Let me ask you a question: are we all here?
Michelle, I was sitting here saying this to you because one, Kevin Durant with his agent. And with the things that he has made himself worth. Now, what I'm saying is there may not been opportunities for women who, have an agent or somebody who can go that back for them and prove that they got whatever, and they're trying to do those type of things now. But it's not just because the NBA said, "Oh, Kevin, he's got a great agent, he's got a great contract, they negotiated the right things." Maybe the women can't afford those because maybe men who are the agents and stuff are doing that. So it's just a lot of things that I feel like come into play with that, because at the end of the day, NBA is a business, right? And they're gonna want to make their money and do whatever. The people who make sure that the players get treated fairly are the agents and the union and different things like that, just like with any job.
Right. It could go back to the...
Let me ask you, have you had a baby? Have you had a baby?
I have 3 children. But no.
I have 3 children.
Let me finish
and you
this
had
one
a baby.
Point. So the point could be the same as... what was I about to say? So, dang it, what we were kind of talking about. It's new. It's new because women's sports are new. So we can use Serena as another example.
Yes.
Because there's never been an issue when somebody goes off... on injury, whatever it is.
Yeah, okay.
They come back with this terrible rating, so that was her issue. And when she came back off maternity leave, because you don't have these points because you haven't played, even further, I think it was further than that. Ooh. She might have been in the hundreds or something because she didn't have any points. So what she did, or what we have to do, and it's talking about this story, and hopefully the young lady did the same thing, is incite the issue so that it can be a change made. Because Serena's issue was, well, I'm when I left, I was the number one in the world. Just because I left to have a baby. But it was an issue across the board, even for men too, regarding when you come back, you're going to get the lowest rank, whatever it is. You're not going to come back at your same rank, which gives you a different status, a different place in the line, when you play and everything. So it's new.
Right, and that's
she's
what I was
bringing
saying
that
when we
situation
talk about
up.
business, just like with what is the tennis association called?
It's the Women's Tennis Association,
Okay,
or the USTA.
All right. So whatever they are,
women,
they were in
the United States Tennis Association.
So they
Either
came
one.
up with these rules. They're making their money. They're making the broadcast, doing all that kind of stuff. And the players themselves are saying, hey, they have to advocate for themselves.
Right.
You can't just assume that they're gonna want to treat you a certain way and do whatever just because you're playing the sport. No, your agent, your social media presence kind of stuff are the things that do that. But you can't just sit down.
That's why she brought it.
Right, Keisha. But the issue I have with what you're they're saying is that your comments that you're making on them not doing certain things or whatever. I would never expect that. Okay, move on. You're right. All right. Ariel. Yes, you're right.
Ariel.
Ariel. All right, colorism. How do they see us? They clowned Haley Bailey, and I hate that it was so close
to Halle Berry. Yes, me too. I was like, Halle kind of old for this.
It's
it was
Haley Bailey. They clowned Haley Bailey because she is so stinking beautiful, and she's talented, and she could sing, and she could do all these type of things. And they were clowning her because she was black. And Ariel is white.
I got a new theory. I had to put it on this man's Facebook page. If you're a Trump supporter, I know you're gonna look at that. If you're a Trump supporter, and I'm sitting here thinking, who's a Trump supporter? I'm talking about the ones who are clowning her, saying that the mermaid can't be black.
Okay,
mermaid can't be black. You know, and it's racist is where I'm going with this. I think this is a definite evidence that we need mental health. That we need it for everybody. Because this is some crazy shit. Y'all some crazy motherfuckers out here. Seriously, if you're mad about a mermaid that ain't a real human being being black, you need some mental health. Trump, you need to let Obama care.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead. That's my thing. I mean, this is crazy, is it not?
Oh, no.
And
100%.
they are getting, wait.
We didn't agree on something. We need some. I need a drink. I need something.
But I'm sitting here going, really? Y'all ready this? And then when you read the comments, I can't believe it. And you're like, bitch, you nuts. This is what you mad about. You ain't mad that Trump got up at the 4th of July rally and said that in 1776 that they bombarded the airports.
Oh.
That didn't bother you. What airports in 1776? I want to know. Can y'all name one of them damn airports? This motherfucker used our taxpayers' money to get this stupid ass speech. Okay, I'm good.
That was our topic.
No. Everything come back to Trump. Just
okay, so can we get back to Ariel? Ariel. I didn't have a girl, so Ariel. Okay,
so what color is a mermaid?
Correct. So the people who made the movie clearly made her a white girl. They could have just, I don't know, made her clear. I don't know. But the bottom line is remember when Brandy played Cinderella?
Yes, and it was wonderful.
It was wonderful. And so, right. So if you have just a lovely individual, now they ain't not going on her character, not going on her talent, not going anything except for color. And that's the one thing when I was in the Dominican, they were talking about that, and they were just saying it's crazy when they watch TV and stuff and see how bad America, has this big color issue. They was like, nobody else in the country, like, they do it economic.
Dominicans have a color issue.
But I'm just talking about overall. So the way we kind of clown people and do the stuff. And I was just like, that's so unfortunate for this young girl to get this opportunity and then to have to spend the first days of it when it should be something fantastic that she's celebrating and doing her little tours and doing all this kind of stuff, to have to deal with the fact that somebody is concerned about her color.
And this is the thing about racists. And we're going to talk about these racists. We got to. Y'all need to get out and meet some black people, because somewhere in y'all head, I don't know why y'all so afraid of black people. What in the hell we ever do to you? Did we come to your country and snatch your ass up and take you to make you be our slave? Did we come to your country and do that? If we didn't do that to you, why are you scared of us? We should be scared of you. Correct?
I don't.
No comment. No.
You better comment up in here, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, we should be scared of you, and you scared of us for what?
The guava one?
Why couldn't the mermaid be black? Why couldn't the mermaid be white? Oh, Jesus. Go ahead. Next topic.
I know. So, Mick, you got anything about that?
Ariel, I have no concern. I know what their issue is.
What?
Just like we're tired of seeing them on everything, I'm tired of turning on the TV and trying to find somebody that looks like me on TV.
Oh, tell it,
So
girl.
they're just scared, or they don't want to see anything or anybody that doesn't look like them. And period, end of statement.
Okay.
So I have no comment.
So it's fear.
It is what it is.
And that's why I keep trying to figure out what they're afraid of. We're going to go in their homes and take them out and make them a slave.
It just goes back to us having that voice in that room, and or which we clearly had the voice in the room, because somebody said, well, Haley can be Ariel.
And she's
beautiful, and she can play this role. And so we had that representation. Now they just have to catch up.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll keep doing these types of things, and we can see more of ourselves, on social media, on TV, in movies, in any role. When you turn on any TV show, don't get me started. Okay. You can see from a a criminal to the president of the United States.
All white.
And all white or any color except for our color. You know, so I think it's time. And we want to, so we keep telling our kids, you can be this and you can be that, but they don't have examples that they can see. Everything that's pushed at them.
You better tell them they need to be able to do a skill job. Then you not going to be president.
We're going to watch Killer Mike tonight because I've been telling her about Killer Mike.
You're not going to be president. But go ahead. What's the next topic? Let's go.
All right. So, monogamy versus polygamy. So
I'm a
back to these swingers, right?
I'm wondering why I was on the list at all. This so old school.
Her and Doja in the
never.
Shut up.
Because me and her and Doja.
That was disrespectful.
No, it's not.
On every level.
She's been saying that.
We are in love. Ask Doja. He tell you. Doja have no idea what's going on.
I can't do it.
That's the first truth she said.
Okay.
Doja have no idea that we're in the trouble.
All right. So with this whole, when we were on vacation, they gave us this polygamy. The swingers had these.
That was from the swingers.
Well, no. I take that back. The person who gave it to. Okay, we're not gonna say where it came from because I can't 100% say one or the other. So it's this little pack you got, right? And in the pack you got. Y'all ready? Some Advil, just in case you have a little hangover, right? It came with some.
I'm a virgin and I don't drink.
Astroglide lube.
I don't need that.
And it came with a pregnancy test.
I don't need that. I wish the hell I would be pregnant.
Well, these three things don't seem to go together because. Well, no, that's not. No condoms.
These three things go together. Because if you're going to use lubricant, if you're going to use lubricant without a condom, you're going to definitely need a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Where the condoms? Why did he pass out condoms? What day and age is this?
So I don't know.
AIDS went away.
So my question is to those who are listening, what would you put in the pack?
A condom.
So you had an all-inclusive resort. You got some single people around. What would you put in the pack? Would you include these things and, as Keisha say, add a condom?
Thank you. Oh, Cliff just corrected our country ass. Her name is Holly. Not Haley. It's spelled like Haley, but you pronounce it like Holly.
Holly Bailey. Holly Bailey. Okay, we got it. So, what other than a condom, do you think this is a good idea?
A condom, a body condom, one that covers your whole from start right here to the bottom of your feet.
That sounds like a different topic.
But that's swingers. I don't want you to. I want to be covered in plastic.
Yeah, the plastic and with just the little.
You into some erotic stuff?
50 Shades.
This dude gave me a body condom.
It
was a gag gift from Spencer's.
You got a body condom?
I was like, what else was doing? I was 18, something like that, but it was a gag gift.
Okay. All right. So, do women have a hard time being honest with men?
Not me. I've been told that I'm too honest. I told I'm hard on guys, but I think for me, guys, they need to hear it. I'm not
Okay,
well, we have to give a specific scenario.
Well, we have another guest in the room. It's Neva. She's been waiting patiently, and they can hear you, Neva. You don't necessarily have to be over here.
Come in, this camera girl.
But
if they got me over here, you can come over here. This is complete tomfoolery.
And just kind of talk with us.
Daddy said we need to put a pack of mints in there.
A pack of mints.
Daddy, a damn mint. Oh, they need to see a dentist.
Hey, we asked for the suggestion. She gave us suggestions. So condoms and a mint goes in the pack. Okay.
All right. This guy Creedell, he wanted to call in and talk a little about religion, but
religion. Okay. I don't have my little thing, so I'm sorry. We won't be able to have you call in today. All right, but we will have you next week. Okay. So, do women have a hard time being honest with men? So think about this. Yes, it is. When you're a husband, when you're a boyfriend, when you're dating somebody. So, do women have a hard time being honest with their husbands? Do women have a hard time being honest with their boyfriends? They have a hard time being honest when they're dating. So I have this friend who was in a situation where the conversation started to get kind of inappropriate with somebody who not even dating or doing anything with. It just got a little inappropriate. And she didn't feel, what?
Oh, no. I don't know.
She would have said her name if it was her.
I didn't know. What? I'm sorry. This is open.
I need a drink.
Keep talking. No, you can't talk.
Next subject.
Okay, so
You don't have to give
You
an
didn't have
example.
to indulge
well,
me.
no. I'm just
Say
being, I
no.
really am being general. I was just wondering, like, dang, would
Yeah.
you bust out of it? But no, so no, not neither. But I'm just
Okay.
saying. Okay, so and have you ever like gone to a club or gone to a bar, done something, and you saw somebody that may have been nice, you know, they're hitting on you, y'all kind, or even just somebody friendly, y'all just holding a conversation, and then the conversation just goes completely left. Okay. That actually happened to me with one of my friend's brothers. And I had to let him know. I was like, shut it, slap down.
Ooh.
And and
Getting hot in here.
and I was like, what? Why do you feel like?
You better not let my husband hear this shit.
I was like, why do you feel like it's okay for you to have that conversation with me about sex or about anything else? And I was not happy about it. And I let him know. And I was like, lose my number, you know, because it really, we were having he was going to help me get a dog. And it turned into something else. And I was just like, what? You know, so my whole point was that I didn't have a problem with letting him know that it was inappropriate. And from that moment on, it was a no-go. Don't talk to me, you know, and
Let
if you
me
see
ask
me,
you
I
this
can be
question.
friendly enough to you, but you have totally violated the absolute most of us even having any kind of relationship, because he just came at me the wrong way. And I think that if I wouldn't have said nothing, then it would have continued.
So let me ask you this. Do you think age have a factor to do with that? Because I think as my younger self, I wouldn't have addressed it so much. But as my 40 above 25 plus 18 self, let me tell you, I don't know. Go away. No.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way I answer now.
yeah.
But I'm saying younger, I'd have been like,
Okay.
and I wouldn't even say that. I just would have said.
I totally can see that.
But as 40, I'm like, child, get away. No.
Okay. How about you, Michelle? Do you think
I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment, or it depends on the person. I'm just always have the mean face, so nobody even approaches me with that type of
I'm
BS.
always smiling. So
No.
my boyfriend
But then
said
you
I
think
smile
about how-
too much at people and they think I'm flirting, which
Right.
I am flirting.
And I can honestly say there may have been a couple of situations where I could have possibly not have said something and then beat myself up later thinking, man, I should have said something then. I should have not let it go or whatever. But I mean, I think as women, not just with men.
tell you what Danny said?
Okay, hold on. Just I think we all go through that where we could have been like, dang, if I should have just stood up for myself. I should. And women, I don't know if I guys, but women deal with that. Go ahead.
Danny was saying that it's hard to be honest because sometimes you feel like you're being they're judgmental. They were so judgmental. You know, like they'll jump on you and be very judgmental.
No, but what I'm saying is like, you know, a guy who maybe
I'm
in
saying
his
you
mind
won't be honest because
Right.
you don't want them to.
No, yeah, but in his mind, he saw you as a piece of meat and trying to hit it. So now
Every
he's
guy.
talking this little, you know, inappropriately sexual stuff to you, and you sitting there. And I know tons of women who have taken that and then afterwards felt like, man, I mean, he really disrespected me, and I didn't say anything about it. And it should have been where you've been like, no, you what? What are you talking about? Or why? You know, so
Well, and then sometimes I feel like it flies over my head. Sometimes.
I think when I saw the question listed, I didn't think that was going to be your example. Is that the only example that you want to give about women having a hard time being honest with men? There's more than that type of instance. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It could be with your husband about being in a group and spending money. It could be, you know, with your boyfriend regarding his prowess in the bedroom. Like there's a bunch of different. I didn't expect that to be the topic. So there's different levels of
There is.
conversation with any men. So do you want to be? Sometimes I might not be completely honest. You know.
I found that I kind of say what's in my head out loud, and sometimes I need to do this. Think about it first and then voice it. But I don't say it to be mean. I just say because, and I guess, and that's why I brought up the age thing. You get to a certain age that you don't have a filter.
But I think some men will openly admit that their egos are fragile, but most men
Yes.
won't. But all of them
You're a
are.
tough guy.
Yeah, all of them
you
are.
gotta take it.
And once you say something out your mouth that hurt their little feelings, and it goes through all this kind of stuff, they always talk about us being emotional and do whatever. But we bounce back a lot quicker.
I'm dealing with a spoiled brat.
Yeah, we
And
bounce back
that's
a lot
hard for me because in stuff that I'm the spoiled person, and then you know he wants to be prettier than me. I don't do well with that. You already know that. Me and you roll together.
Oh God, I cannot.
I am.
All right,
Like,
next
you can't
one.
be prettier and smarter than me.
Okay, so how do you teach your kids about winning and losing? So let me tell you this story. I heard this today, and I was telling Michelle this. So it's this woman who is teaching her kid that you don't lose. There's no such thing as losing. You win, 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 win. You don't lose. To the point where her son was I don't know the logistic of it, so we're just going to kind of improvise a little bit. Her son and her nephew, her sister's son, had some type of competition with each other. Her son lost. So she goes to her sister and says, I need for you to tell your son that that he cheated.
And that the other one really won.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that because we'll teach our son about the fact that you never lose. How far do people go to teach about winning and losing?
So let me ask you this question. Which side of her cheek did that bitch slap her on? Because you came up to me talking about, you need to, hold on, have to say that again. Tell me again which one of my children supposed to, listen, and that'll teach the parent. Go on, slap her and go on about your business.
But I
think that's crazy.
What really are you teaching your kid? Because clearly you have no morals because you're going to ask your nephew to lie and say that he cheated so that your son can feel like a winner.
How do you respond to an ignorant ass parent that come up to you and say that? And I know y'all related. See, me and my brother, I would have slapped him. I would have said, what?
I don't know. What you think, Meg? You think it just...
I have 3 sons. We have participated in every sport possible, and I don't understand that.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. I have no words.
So what happens when your son loses a game or it's a tough loss? How do
we deal with that?
Yeah.
I am more of a teacher. That's when I go into teacher mode. And I ask, how are you feeling? Did you do the best that you could do?
Okay.
Tell me what you did wrong or what you could have done differently. So I always use it as a learning moment.
Yes.
If you can ask and call any one of them right now. Now, if they out there fumbling around, looking around, kicking dirt, because we talking about baseball, basketball, football, I'm like, what were you doing? You're not paying attention. Get it in. But it's not like if you lose, it's the end of the world.
Right.
Nobody's going to lie to you about, the truth of what happened. Let's talk, clearly about how the game went.
My son is in a lot of sports. Like you said, I had 3 sons that were in all these sports. So my youngest is still doing sports. And what I do is when he have a tough loss, we go get ice cream. He be waiting on that ice cream. He come off that field. Let's go, Mom.
I think I'm more like Michele. Yeah, I use it as a teaching opportunity.
That's cute. How old is your youngest son?
16.
That's even more funny.
He is so chubby, and all his coaches, he need to lose a few pounds. Not in this life. Leave my baby alone.
But I think I agree with Michele. Like, I do the same thing as use as a teaching moment. I really try to check in with them. And if it's one of those, like, you play basketball, so if they lose by 1 point at the buzzer, I don't even talk. I let them have a moment. Ain't nothing to say.
Nothing.
We'll
Just
say
let
nothing.
them ride. Right.
Yeah, that's the worst. That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
And then, if they get blew out, then we having that, y'all was like, so it does depend. But I think there's so many parents, and that's why I hate that everybody wins thing. No, everybody don't win. Everybody don't win at life. Everybody don't win at every sport.
Do you know your Auntie CJ, my mama, my entire life, this is her saying, when we lose, there's only place for 1 point on the top of a pyramid. So only one can win. Only one person can win. It's made so that somebody is going to lose. Now, over these 20-some years, I'm tired of her saying that. And as soon as she starts, we all of us and all the boys, my husband, everybody, we don't want to hear that. But it is so true. So when you have tournaments, if it wasn't for them people losing, you wouldn't be in an opportunity to be at the top. Somebody is going to lose. So you have to learn how to deal with failure and loss.
And I'm going to tell you this. There are some people who have kids, that's all they do is lose because they are really horrible at whatever it is. I mean, no, I'm being honest.
I'm saying they love the sport.
So then you change it to something where it's fun. Like, for example, my son is not a math person. I remember my husband sitting with him in 8th grade doing algebra. Because I was like, hey, take algebra now, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, he in there crying. And they back and forth. And my husband, da-da-da-da. So finally he walks in there. He was like, look, math is not his thing. What else we got? So we started exploring other options, realized he's very charismatic. He he can debate, he can talk. So then we started on this thing with this whole attorney thing. And so he wants to be an attorney. Now, wherever he falls within that realm, I'm excited about it. We can do whatever. But he really knew math wasn't his thing. So we wasn't about to go enter him into no math leaks and then be like, my baby should have got a medal. No, I know he's horrible. Like,
so this is my original question. What, as the adults in the room, why do I don't understand why the other adult, when she came to you with this ignorant mess, how do you respond? You need to set her straight, not the child. it's the parent that need to be set straight.
Right,
Get out of my
but
face.
sometimes you're not gonna be good at everything, and that's okay. And you're gonna have these losers. And like I said, he was not about to enter no math league contest, and I wasn't about to be the parent up in there trying to recount and say everybody. I'm serious.
It's not called a math lead. Lord help me, give me the word. It is not a math lead.
I promise you.
I'm about to Google it.
Google it.
Right, so my
Google
youngest,
it. No, Neva can Google it. Google it, Neva. Google math league.
My youngest brother.
I promise you. And then I want, what we going to get if it's there? Because it's math.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's some southern stuff.
No.
But so let me
called
tell
that.
you, my youngest brother name is Tristan. He had a real problem with. He did not take loss well, and he played the video games.
Mm-hmm.
He would tear the whole room up if he lost. It was so embarrassing, and he'll tell you right now.
She don't want to listen to me. I'm a teacher, man.
I need my glasses. I need to read it.
Hold on.
I'm such a teacher, and you up in here
This
trying
is
to.
made up like
Yes, it
physicality.
is. And I thought you
Math
said it-
lead,
I
a
thought
person
it
who
had
takes
C
part in a
it.
mathematics competition, typically one organized for school children. Okay, he is the math lead. That is not the name of the competition. Okay, fine.
Okay. But
That's what I, yeah.
Okay, he's not going to participate as a mathlete,
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, speak clearly.
okay. Moving on from this, ignorant
but they
lady
do
and
call
her
the
sister.
competitions that too. I'm
No,
be
I
honest with you.
want to make one more comment about
Yes,
this,
go
which is
ahead.
so funny to me. It's because my sons I've had some who played on really bad teams, good teams, whatever, back and forth. But my question is always, why are the other kids on the team who never play and are really, really bad?
Don't do this.
Like, how
Don't
do they
do this.
feel?
Don't do this, man.
They never get in.
Back away.
And what about the mamas and the daddies who spend all their money and come to all of the games and they kids don't get in? Baby, I guarantee you, I'm that crazy mama.
I can tell you,
You not playing? We not coming. And you know what else? And we not paying?
The good team, the good player.
No, baby.
Hey, you need those people because that is what
In
keeps
high
the bus
school where it
running.
is no fee.
Okay, listen. All
How
right,
do
let
you
me
show up
tell
every
okay.
time and you know your kid ain't getting it?
Listen,
Give me
you
this
have
thing.
a
I'm
role.
about to
Let me
burst in the face.
let me tell you the role they have. The role they have is keeping the bus running. Because I'm gonna tell you one
the
thing.
bitch move.
Usually those people who are the super athletes, everybody chipping in money to make sure they make it because the lights not on at their house. So I'm telling you right now, everybody play a part. So give them their trophy too. Now they ain't do much, but give them their trophy.
All right,
Okay.
ladies,
I don't know.
subject.
All
What
right,
we got?
women who are married, do you think
count
think
me
they
out.
think about their finances?
Yeah. And the men make sure they think about it, depending on what type of relationship, who's the spender, who's the saver. Usually you have a spender to saver. If it's two spenders, y'all screwed.
No, I think it depends on the
two spenders is
relationship.
screwed.
You think it depends on the relationship?
It depends on the relationship and how you guys handle your money. So,
Yeah.
I've been as Keisha said, I'm an entrepreneur. I left a well-paying job to become my own business person and had other business partners. And my husband's first thing he said was, first of all, you need to get a job. And I said, I don't want a job. I want to do this.
Yeah.
So I went out, got a job, proved to him I can get a job. And then he said, okay, fine. When I go to the ATM or when I pull out my credit card and I need to get some money, as long as I can get some money, then I support you. So I say that all to say he didn't necessarily care about the finances because I am the finance person in our relationship. He could do it, but his barometer of caring was, when I go there, as long as I can get some money, it better be some money. So that's all he
If
cared
you
about.
dipping in our money just to try to make it work, then that's a problem.
Yeah. So, but we
Okay.
handle our finances totally different too.
Or y'all
We don't have no
got your own
two
finances?
separate accounts. We have one account, all of that type of stuff. We didn't do that. Where you put the rent in for this and you put the money in for that.
Oh,
we
them
never
both
did
ways.
that.
No, we
We never did that.
We have
A
to,
lot
we
of
have to do
people,
that.
married
we
couples
have to
I know do
'Cause
that.
The way I like to spend money is totally different from the way my husband likes to spend money. But we do
me
have
and
our
Doja
group.
right here.
I know, but we do. So that keeps everything at least afloat. Now we do discuss and share and do all the other kind of
Well, you
stuff.
gotta
But
do
yeah,
what
yeah,
works for
because
you.
that one account thing. One time he went in there to swipe and it wasn't nothing.
You still murder.
And I'm still married 22 years come
Well-
last Friday. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I can't hate him with that. I have, and since then, I've gotten a lot better with my finance. And I'm constant. I just actually passed a book on Aneva that I've read that is going to take it to another level. And like I said, I just have never been that person.
Neva's
Like,
not here.
so. Yeah, Neva's
I
not
would
here.
definitely advocate that women should if you
Yeah,
don't.
there you go.
Yes.
Even at a minimum, I'm not saying you got to have some money, or say your husband gives you an allowance, whatever it is, you need to know how to manage that, or when you're getting it. So you should care about your finances and
I just had
understand everything about it.
I just had a college friend father pass, and The mother knew nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally
That was the whole point of
nothing.
this.
She didn't even know if he had life insurance.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
And
the
he
whole
was
point of this.
retired, and she went back to work just so they wouldn't be at home together. You know, she was like, "I'll go greet at Walmart," because she was a stay-at-home mom all that time. And so when he retired, she was like, "Okay, he get on my nerves. I'm gonna go do a little piece of a job."
Right.
And they and he passed away, and she knows nothing.
Nothing.
I think we should take it to the next level, and we could take it down to our children.
Yes.
So it's all about how you were raised, and going back to the first question.
Right.
You know, I made sure that my sons, as soon as possible, had a bank account
Right.
and a debit card. Everything is, you know, this is your money, this is your allowance, you need to manage it. We were at the bank trying to set up the account, and the banker wanted to tell them, okay, so then the next thing on your account is overdraft protection. Hold up.
Well,
That
no
ain't even something
protection.
they need to know about. Because what they need to know is to manage their money. And if you want to buy something and you don't have enough money to buy it, then you can't buy it.
Can't buy
Ain't
it.
going to be no overdraft coming out of my account, baby.
Give me 5. So
No.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't have overdraft protection. They
Me
tried
either.
to get me to get it. I was like, no, I know what I got, and I know I didn't know how to do.
No,
No,
for
thank
the-
you.
and I
You won't be
mean-
pulling from nowhere.
They've had these accounts since they were, you know, 10, 12,
Right.
13. And
Right.
they actually manage the money, you know, and count their money. And now it's so many other things. I need to get my Microsoft account. So they pay for their Xbox out of there. You know, so they have to manage their allowance. So that's something.
Right.
And I hope mothers are doing that for their daughters. Or if the dad is handling the money
yeah.
in the family and the mama don't know,
Then he's
you
doing it
need
for
to
his
be
daughter.
teaching your daughter.
Yes,
Everybody
yes.
needs to know how to handle
Absolutely.
money.
Got it.
I had
That
this
would be my
little-
comment.
I had
Okay.
this little one thing about my mentor, Miss Hazel, wanted me to talk to single mothers about spending habits and wanting to buy purses and clothes. You know how you getting this one to buy
Right.
stuff. And my philosophy is, if I can throw bleach on it and it ain't worth nothing, you investing in the wrong thing. If all your money is in your closet, if all your money
Thank
that
you.
you have,
Okay, I was
I didn't know
in
where you
your
were like, this is some
All right,
country
we got
stuff
you now,
Here,
'cause
baby.
No,
Yes, I was thinking like, what?
Because y'all from y'all shut down people. Y'all got Kanye West and y'all ain't know what I'm talking about.
I didn't know. I wasn't
If
there. I
all
wasn't
your
there. I wasn't there.
investment
Google that,
is in
see if
your
that come up too.
closet, if every time you get an extra 2 cents, you buy something to go in your closet, and if I can throw bleach on it, and guess what? Guess what it's worth?
Okay,
I'm
we
bringing
got
that back
you
to
now.
the
We
shot.
got
Yeah,
you.
I'm bringing that back, y'all.
All right,
What?
so-
Take that Bama. Take that Bama.
All right, so friends, how do you define that word? Go ahead.
I ain't.
This is a lesson too that parents need to teach their
Yes.
children, and I teach my sons. Everybody is not your friend.
Thank you,
The
Jesus.
friend
But-
is the most exclusive
Thank you,
person
Jesus.
Okay.
next to your spouse and your family.
I think people use
Period,
it loosely.
and they use it too loosely.
well, when we say that loosely, I think it's because it's not defined. That's why I'm
No,
asking you. No,
I
seriously,
think it's
because
defined, but they
wait a
use
minute,
it
in your
loosely.
mind, what you think and how you define it, which is, remember when we had that whole debate about
Girl code.
girl code?
I knew that's what
That's a
you were
part.
going.
That's a part of friendship to me. It wasn't a part for you. So I'm not
No.
saying. Listen, hold on. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
right or wrong.
No,
I'm
no.
just saying you have to define it. So it's so subjective.
I
He
think
briefly
I-
brought me up on the girl code
Well,
thing.
well,
That's
I-
unacceptable. There is a girl code.
So let me say this. I think that the word association.
no, we
should-
just this
No,
say
no, no,
friend.
no, I'm
say
saying-
friend first.
No. I'm
Don't
saying,
define associate yet. Define friend.
No. That ain't what I'm saying. I
Okay.
said what I'm trying to say. Let me spit it out first. I think the word association should be used when we use the word friend loosely. When you're not, and what I'm trying to say is, this my friend. This my friend. Sometimes
But you're
it's
still
my
not defining
associate.
it.
No,
you're
but-
adding another word. I'm not saying that's not what you're saying. It's
No,
not
no.
correct, Keisha.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying
I
right
know,
now.
but I'm just-
Let's define what that is. Like, what's the definition of friend? Because then, if I know that, then if you want to introduce associate and all this other kind of stuff, I have all that. But a lot
I
of
got
people.
a definition for you.
Okay.
If you know my personal business and we're not related, you're a friend.
That may not be true.
No, I'm saying you told me to define.
No, okay, let me. No.
The definition could be different for
For
everyone.
No, I
everybody,
get
but
that.
that's
I
my
am
deal.
saying that, but listen to what I'm saying to you. If I'm your friend and I tell someone your personal business and they know it, that person ain't your friend. They know your personal business.
That ain't what I just said.
What you just said.
You being really.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
understand
saying
what
for
you're saying.
me, I'm saying
Right.
'Cause there's a lot of people who
I'm
know
not
your
saying-
personal business.
No, a lot of people don't. Honestly, a lot of people don't.
Okay.
A lot of people think I'm rich. You know the deal.
You trying to you being really particular. Of course,
No, I'm just
you would
saying.
not hope that your friend would tell your
your
business.
business. That ain't
'Cause
my
no,
friend
that does
anyway.
not make the next person my friend.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
So when
Based
we
on that
define
definition.
friend,
I'm saying it's somebody, if I'm intimate with you.
Somebody
as
who
a
you would tell your personal business to.
Yes. And I got 5 people. And I've said this before. I have 5 people.
How long I've been telling y'all that? I got all my friends on one hand, baby.
have 5
and it's a
people.
couple that rotate on and off, and that's my mama and my sister. So it's really only 3 slots available.
I mean, honestly, and listen, and it's so true because like people now think people who are watching and who are following the podcast.
Friends shouldn't be telling anyone's personal business. Yeah. That's true.
No, but people are watching now. Like I had people come up to me at Office Depot asking me about my boo named Doja.
See,
that tell me no, but I'm saying that
they
tell
don't
me
know you,
they don't
right.
know me, and that's fine because then I know now that you're not a friend, you are an associate. Everybody that know me know Keisha's husband name is Doja. You understand what I'm saying?
So Keisha, what's your definition?
Okay, so let's look at this. Cliff said, nephew said, I define friend as an acquaintance or an associate, someone I can kick it with, but if I call you my brother, sister, or best friend, then you've met my family. I've told you secrets and I trust you. But friend is like an associate. I don't tell friends my business.
That's an
like
age
that.
thing. That's
you
an
know
age
what,
thing.
boy? You smart. Where you get that smart brain
Cliff.
from? He get it from me. Keisha, he get it from you.
That's a good.
I love that.
And here's what's funny. I was just telling a white woman this because in the Dominican Republic, because we were there and it was a bunch of us, and people be like, sis, so I call Michele my sister, I call Dana my sister, and people who haven't met us because we favor, they're like, oh, like this one dude yesterday, and he was like, so that's your real sister? He said, because y'all do look alike, and we're that close where it's like that. Now, I told her, I said, in black families, when you somehow make it to any category that is associated with family, cousin, sister, brother, auntie, friend, then that means that you're close and we've moved past the, oh, how you doing? I see you type of deal. You can come over to the house. We have, and that's and I don't know where that came from or why it's so, but that's just it. So they're like, oh, so the woman was flabbergasted because she was like, okay, because I work in this community. And I have a couple of black girlfriends. And they're always like, oh, yeah, that's my cousin. Oh, that's my sister. She's like, God, they come from a huge family. She said, and half of them don't look alike. I said, now, if you go back, she said, and I don't want to ask, because who am I to be like, is that really your cousin? I said, but if you were to have that conversation with her, you would probably get a laugh out of her because she would tell you that they're not really not with blood, but by, whatever. So, okay. Michele, friend?
I like...
Define it?
I have no word. Right, I have no words to define it, but I'm gonna go. I like what Cliff said, but when you said that, it's family. So I would rather define family, and so when I define family,
okay,
and that would be. And it's so funny. I go back. Do you know Bobby? Because that's how long we've been together. That's my oldest child. He's 26. Yeah. And if Bobby don't recognize you, then you're not family. Oh. That's it. That's all the stuff.
I like
and
that.
We are so cool with the auntie uncle stuff that. The kids, Brandon and Donovan, actually thought that Peyton and Bryce were their real cousins because it was from birth. They grew up as friends from birth. We're family. But it was, this is Auntie Kimmy, this is Uncle Corn, that's Grandma Joyce. Bringing even in his mother and his father. That's Pop, that's this, that's that. That's in the statement. And so they finally got to high school. So we really not related.
Yeah.
You are and you aren't.
Yes.
But... you get to choose your, sometimes you can't choose your family or whatever the little freaking saying is. Right.
But you can choose your friends.
Friends or family you choose, not that you bloodline.
Right. And it doesn't matter to me. Even we had a silly conversation yesterday. So what other family we going to bring in? I'm thinking, well, okay, we need to bring in 2 more families because we're family. Right. I wasn't counting you
I said there'll be
as
3
a
families.
separate family.
I said one more, and she was like, well, we need 2 more because I was like,
that's how silly it was. That's how I feel that she is my sister and Doja is my brother. Right. And Pop and Mama and Dana, like everybody. No.
Don't smack her, please, Shell. Don't do it.
No.
All right. So, okay. So this is the last part of friend thing. Are you think there are friend categories?
Yes.
So after you've defined your friends, are there categories?
Yes, because I got one friend that I talked to about sex. I mean, we go round and round we have real conversations where other, like my sister, we don't talk about sex. We talk about politics and stuff. And what's comfortable. I got one friend where I talk about messy stuff, that type of thing. Then I got one friend that I just chill and talk about kids. That's you. But you understand that you got levels of discussions that you can have with each one. So
okay, and now I'll respond to that. I think that Because I'm such a friendly person, there are a lot of people who may think that they're my friends or we're close or whatever the case may be. And because of the environment that I provide when I'm in their presence. And I never want anybody to feel like they're not loved or they're not thought about or cared for or whatever. But I don't like fee friends. I don't like friends that cost. Like, if it costs too much to be your friend, I can't do it. I don't have the energy to do it. I don't have it in me to do it.
Emotional cost or
whatever cost. It don't even make a difference what it is. And I'm the type of person.
The energy out
no, that's what I mean.
What
so whatever it is, and when it costs so much, like if it takes too much energy, y'all know I don't care nothing, and that's probably having a problem about money. So if something's going down, you need something. I'm there. I'm doing whatever. So that's never been an issue for me. But when you think about how people like just and you love them and you want to be around them, you think they're great people, but then you really have to reevaluate it because they drain all of the energy out of you. And I can't stand people. Me and Dana Fobbs always say to each other, we're no fee friends. Like, I can pick up the phone, call her, we can do stuff. She's my line sister. We do all this type of everything. But at the same time, if I don't talk to her, that's going to be good. She going to be all in her feelings. I remember when me and Danny first started becoming friends. Danny was like, I don't even know if you really like me, blah, 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 blah. And it was because, and me and Michele was just saying that. She's like, I don't talk to anybody that much. Like, her husband Greg, she was like, that's the only person you may see me talking to every day. Other than that, there are people who I, because me and her, I'll send her a text, what up, Mick? Or she knows if I want to talk to her, I'll call her. She'll call me back sometimes. But, we get back with it, and it's no big deal. But them girlfriends that feel like they got to be all up in everything, always calling, talking. Do you have a life?
Please invite it. But we went to Orange Beach last year for your birthday, and we had a ball.
We did.
And I mean, it was that we don't need a bunch of people. And I know y'all see us on here arguing, but that's how we roll. That's why we decided to do the podcast, because that's how we are in the car.
Because I can't stand
That's how we are in the car. But guess what? That's what people don't understand. Like, some people might see us arguing here and think that it's okay to come up to me and be like, I don't like what Keisha said. Like, is she a Republican?
They can do that.
No, is she a Republican? And guess what I say? Ask her.
Well, you know what? And I will say this. And the same thing. People will come to me and be like, how are you and Keisha friends? She this, she that, she that. And I don't let anybody. I was like, talk about you. I was like, no, you ain't going to talk about it now. Now, I talk about it. You right. I don't know how I'm friends with her. But
hey, that's good.
But I'm not.
I go back to when we were at the table and me and you start arguing about the 20 minutes. And all the ladies at the tables looked at us like we had antlers coming out of our head. Remember? And they was like...
which one? Because it's always something with you. What?
When we were at your house and we were talking about the 20 minutes. It take women 20 minutes to get warmed up, and me and you was going back and forth. No, I'm saying we got heated going back and forth. And everybody at the table was like this.
Well, and here's the thing. This one here, that she thinks it's funny sometimes when she does those things, and it really aggravates the hell out of people. And no, I'm not trying to get at you. I'm throwing no shade. I'm just saying you do that, and sometimes I'd be like, Key, just like fill the room and let it go. But she don't let it go. So then that makes people uncomfortable and they get aggravated with it. And I'm like, I know you just kidding or doing whatever you're doing, but it's like let it go. Like, sometimes it ain't even worth it. Okay, we're gonna move on.
I gotta make them comfortable.
Is Trump good for business? BP founder Bob Johnson thinks he is.
And let's talk about it. You in this
Michele,
one?
do you think he good for business? Be honest.
He lost $1 billion.
He's horrible at business. But that does not mean that the expectation, or that's not the right word, that other people don't think. Because, finance is built off of what you think is going to happen in the future, what you think this person is going to do. Mm-hmm. Like, we were talking about the value of a baseball and things like that. Mm-hmm. That's something that a specific group of people, that baseball don't mean nothing to you. Mm-hmm. But it means something to other else. Yes. And they have set the price on the value of that baseball. Okay. So to many, people see Trump as a great business person, so they invest more. They do more.
So you said the persona of him.
Yes, that would be a great.
Okay. I'm looking for that thing.
I got sweat on my upper lip.
Okay, I know. It's the lights. It's the lights.
Well,
it's the light.
I got a philosophy.
Whether it's actually
so
working or not.
So you said the persona of him has created this, where people who have business savvy have been trying to take advantage of, and they've been making it look good. Is that kind of?
I think so. But if you look at the numbers, the numbers don't necessarily say that he is good for business. It's good for people who already have money. Well, it's not good for people who are trying to make
acquire
money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So let me tell you what I found out about this statement that Mr. Johnson said that I found to be very disturbing because it's misleading. Because one of the things he said is that African Americans are seeing record lows in unemployment, and it's all because of Trump. And he's saying that African Americans are doing so well under Trump. And it's a disservice to what he said, because what we're finding out to be true is that, yes, unemployment rate is low, but it's because people are taking part-time jobs and any type of job to get. They're not making a living wage. So just because you got a job don't mean that you're doing wonderful. That's what we're finding out. And one prime example was, look at what happened when the federal shutdown happened. What did we find out with them people with them good jobs? They were barely making it with the job. And missing one paycheck set them back. They were out on TV begging and crying. And I'm like, damn, one paycheck? And it's true. So just because the unemployment rate is lower doesn't mean that you're doing well. The cost of living raise hadn't happened. Yeah, I can work at McDonald's. Everybody here could be at McDonald's, but are we doing well? That means that the unemployment rate is down.
But see, this is where education is important, because
Well,
all of those
say it.
numbers can say and spin whichever way they want them to spin. Back in the day, we used to say the unemployment rate is low because people start falling off. You don't count the people
Who don't even report no
don't
more.
even report anymore. So that's part of that number,
Yes.
but everybody doesn't know that.
Well,
And then
And then
also for
let me
people to
careful
get
about the
public
information that
assistance,
is given to
they
you.
had to. Didn't they change it where you had to earn so much money to even get public assistance? So people were getting part-time jobs or getting jobs to make minimum wage or whatever it was, so they can keep a lot of their benefits.
Yeah, and but this
So-
is the other part about the numbers that kind of upset me is when you don't understand the basis of the number they're using. So just because I have a job, but can I take care of myself?
Right, we
with this
got
job?
you, yeah.
No, but that's the okay.
No, we heard that when
No,
you
no,
said it.
no. But I was
we
just
agree.
saying that I know we all agree, but I'm trying to make sure that when we say education about it, is that we got to learn that just because they throw a number at you and say that you're doing good, it's how does it affect me? So if I'm sitting at home and I'm not doing good, I'm listening on TV going, Mr. Johnson said we're doing excellent. How the hell we doing excellent?
Why don't black people support black business? Why are we always looking for the extra hookup? You find somebody with a black business, you automatically in your head go, oh, you can give me the hookup on something. Like, you can't go in there, and if this same bracelet in Dillard's is $50, you're not willing to give that to a black-owned business.
It's crab mentality. We've already talked about this. It's that crab mentality. It's from slavery, and we got to learn how to break it. It means when you start climbing up out the bucket, I'm going to pull you down. I'm not going to lift you up and push you on out the bucket, and we each push everybody out till we get a rope to send down to pull everybody else up. We don't understand that. What we understand is I see her trying to get ahead and move out the neighborhood.
But do you
I'm
think
gonna
the
pull her
quality of black businesses are where at the same standard or level of attention and care as some businesses that are not? Like, do you think you get the same quality? Like, if you have a black bank owned and you go and you working with them, do you think it's the same type of service and standard of care that you would get at a bank that was not?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that we spend our money where people treat us like shit, and we still trying to give them our money. We go to these high-end stores where they following you around. You got a pocket full of money, and they follow you around. You go, I still want to give you my money. What the hell will I give you my money when I could go to a black business and they're not going to follow me around and treat me like crap?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm still talking about the. Go ahead.
I want the same quality.
She wants the
No,
same
I
quality
want
of
to say,
service.
but they're
I
not
want a
giving.
standard.
But let me say, I
Because-
just said the quality of service is horrible, and we still spend our money
Okay,
there.
so let me say this. Me and Peaches went
So
to...
why the black people
Okay, so
gotta
let me
be
tell you
better?
something. We went to Atlanta, and, Candy Bears has that OG restaurant, right? OLG restaurant.
Oh, yeah, the
All right.
old lady game.
Yeah, so we went to the restaurant.
I was like-
now, it's a popular restaurant, so it was going to take us 40 minutes to get seated or whatever. We were okay with that. We walked down with my niece went with us, went down to a little bar and hung out a little bit, and then came back to eat. Okay, so the way the restaurant is set up, you would think it was just the standard of care at the restaurant, like just what if I'm gonna go to the Ritz-Carlton and go into the restaurant that's in the hotel, I mean it's they own it, right? So I'm coming here, I'm supporting this, I'm spending my money. It's not cheap, because I can go get me this same chicken dinner for $8 and you charge me $25 for it, right? So you're gonna charge me more for it, but I don't have that level of care. So then the waitress, which was nice enough, the food was pretty good, So here's what I noticed when we were leaving. They charge you $10 to park because it's on Peter Street and there's not a lot of park, which I get. So you have to go around to the back of the building. So you can go down these stairs to get out to your car. Well, it's still a part of her business. But when you get down there, you see Uncle Buck on this side chowing down on some chicken and reading something or whatever. It's crap everywhere. It's not even presentable enough to where even if it's not something that she is about to use right now, it just looks like an abandoned restaurant. And she's allowing us to walk through this space in order to get to our cars. And I was a little offended by that because I was just like,
She own that space?
Yes.
I'm asking.
Yes.
I don't know where.
Yes. And I just felt like, what? Here's my deal. And I'm not trying to say compare yourself to white people, do whatever, but you want the support from those who look like you to come and to do this. And you provide me with an experience that make me want to come back and be proud to recommend this to other people. I didn't talking about this restaurant to my friends. I'm normally be like, because I went to K. Michelle's restaurant. Amazing. Yeah, raising atmosphere. The food was good. We had a great time, all that, even with the weight and everything.
It was a tiny space, but
yes, but it was so cute.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful inside. The drinks were all creative. I told everybody about K. Michelle's spot. You saw it. Even like the cook, the chefs and stuff. You'll go back to the bathroom. You'll see them in there doing their thing and they wave and they talk. It was a great experience. And I just would expect here's somebody who on national TV talks about this OG restaurant. Did also. I just really expected. And it was so subpar.
Take your black card right now.
Man,
I'm gonna take your black card. Cause why do that to the sister on the podcast? And the reason I say that is,
what do you mean? She did that. I didn't do that to her.
No. I'm talking about the bad review. So
she didn't.
Let me finish before y'all all jump out.
Okay.
Because
comment on the subject.
Because when you go to the white place, and this is what I was saying.
I'm gonna do the
earlier,
exact same thing.
No. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying when we go to the white place and we get treated differently, we tend to accept it more. Then when we expect higher there. When it's like you would spend your money at a white restaurant that'll treat you less and won't even say anything. And we tend to accept things. No, I'm saying
I hear what you're saying, but I'm like, no.
In general.
All right, let Michelle speak. Go ahead.
This is my issue with this. is we will cut a person off, and I will cut people off.
Yeah.
We'll cut a black person off in a heartbeat. So I work for a company, black owned. They originally said that they wanted to make sure that all of their top executives were African American. It's a black owned company, one of the largest ones in the state of Illinois. So, or even when it was hiring the audit firm. So they didn't like what the black audit firm did. So they immediately wanted to go hire a white audit firm. So my question to you is, well, keep looking for the white people ain't necessarily better. Ever, any time, and I would say 99% of the time, they are not. Or if you took the time to look for somebody like you could find someone just as good and or better.
Okay.
So why do we we'll cut a brother off in a heartbeat and give the white people multiple chances, but they're doing the same things to us.
Yes. Because
if we're so discouraged about service, but we still go to the same restaurant, or then we go to the next white restaurant, that could be bad. We never do. So now this one person just was terrible. We never gonna go to another black restaurant. So some of us are so extreme that's what we do, and that's what bothers me about our people. Give us the same amount of chances that you would give the other people.
Okay. They don't want you there.
So Cliff says it's not the same, and I say that due to living in a predominantly black area and because the African Americans here have an attitude or feeling that you owe them something. But in the white neighborhood, the people are nicer and seem to want to help you.
Not nicer.
This is his opinion. Because there's a difference in shopping at Eastdale Mall, black, than shopping at East Chase Mall, white. And so I think, again, he's in Montgomery, and I don't know if it's just, I don't know where the change needs to happen, because I think there are enough of us that really want this to be a great experience when you come to, our restaurants or shop our stores or do whatever. But it's just that, I don't know. Okay.
It's fine. You made your point, but I guess what we're trying to say is this.
So Nova and Queen Sugar, would you write a tell-all book about your family?
Hell yeah, if I'm going to make some money.
You do she was gonna say yes.
And guess what? I'm gonna keep
knew
your
it. That was
real
a trick
name
question.
in there. I'm gonna keep your real name. If you don't like it, come see me about it. I'll give you a cut.
She's just the
Okay.
agitator in
I'll
this
give you a
group.
cut.
Okay. So here's
They'll take that cut if I cut them
she
in.
is agitated. Okay. So
If I
here's
tell your story,
here's
you
the-
take that cut.
here's the deal behind
No.
that. Here's the deal behind that, okay? So she told the situation with her nephew and that he wasn't her brother's kid. He found out about it from one of his friends at school. He's devastated.
Why she talking about Blue?
She told about Blue.
She telling about Blue?
Right. Charlie's ex-husband can't get a job at the university where he was at because she done told all that. Her aunt had a horrible relationship with this dude who was an uncle or something, and some things happened.
Relationship.
That's not the right word.
He did marry her.
What? See, I just started watching it 2 nights ago.
Okay.
I'm so
So
mad.
at any rate, it was a horrible experience with her. And so it's now dredging back up in her.
Uh-huh.
So when she did this, they had
And
already
bye.
released a little bit, a soft release.
Yeah.
And then she came around and gave her family all this copy. Now, she didn't held this in. I felt like she was being secretive and she was lying. Because the whole time she was writing that book, she knew she was writing it. And then the whole time she was sitting there experiencing these things with her family, I feel like it was a lot. And that's what her brother said. I'm here with this situation, with this woman I was with, to find out this is not my son to do everything. And it just was not your story to tell. And so now I got to clean up the pieces and make sure my son is okay because you now are going to be popular and make money off of this. So what was your motive when you sat and you talked to me? And I agree with him. Hey,
I agree too. And then after seeing what was my second episode?
Yeah, what was her intention?
The other day when the one lady, because I don't watch the
And
show. No. So I don't watch the show. So remember I said, so everybody's
It was
mad at
about the
her.
money.
I said, what is the problem? I said, what is her story? And did she
story.
tell her story?
Yeah.
And so you told me what her story was. So
Right.
she just wanted to drag everybody into her mess because she felt bad about her friend dying, blah, blah, blah. But once I saw the latest episode yesterday, when the other thing that was her
Y'all are
story
spoiler
that
alert.
she half-ass told was the main person who was mad that she wasn't in the damn book, and that was the professor that she was sleeping with. So you ain't even tell your whole story. And now, mind you, I've only seen 3 episodes, or however many you
Y'all,
maybe watched the other
spoiler
day.
alert. Hey, if you ain't
Oh.
watched Queen Sugar, she just
I don't
told
watch it.
I watch it. I'm talking for the people who
Oh.
haven't watched the new episode.
Oh,
but,
my bad.
That's fine. But I think
You know what I'm saying?
I don't
agree.
see. This is my thing.
Yeah.
I don't care. This one thing.
All right, well, stop talking about it. So we-
I do
okay.
have one thing.
This the one thing you don't care about. This
No,
hilarious.
right. So let's let us say we gotta say.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the fact that someone told the story, because I think some of the things is that when you have a story to tell, and even though it was not her story,
It
but
wasn't
for
her
the
story.
family, but I'm saying for the family, that I found that more black families are more into secrecy. They love to sweep stuff under the rug, and it's not therapeutic. And no, it wasn't her story, but it's in her family.
But
and
think about how untherapeutic it is right now.
it's
You got
not
a little
good.
boy.
No, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying that I'm going out of the book and saying that we tend to keep a lot of stuff secret and a lot of stuff, and we don't know how to address it alone. And one of the things, and I'm not talking about the book, and the lady starting the book, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that we've got to learn how to talk about issues in our families. And when you learn how to talk about issues in your family, then it won't be such a shocker when you want to address it on a national level. But the other thing I was going to say,
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
not
but I
a
tell y'all
bit
all the time
of sense
about this, 'cause
because how do we know that they didn't discuss it in their family? Everything that happened in the family was
wasn't
within
talking
their
about Queen
family.
Sugar. I was talking
I
about
know you're
black
talking
people.
It
about
don't
generally
matter.
Black
speaking.
people tend to have and the only reason I say
No.
She
this,
makes these
No.
generalities a
no,
lot.
I only say this because I know people who had secrets. You don't know who the daddy
I get
is.
it, but you
Just
don't
like with
understand when
Ralph
you
Angel.
make the comment, your generalities does not, and the way you pull it together. Everybody in this room was like, no. But it's the how you did it. It's like, okay, well,
Just
fine.
take
Don't
some
care.
notes.
Don't care.
Take
Don't
some
care.
take
All right.
some notes
All right.
and,
Say
and
what you
write
wanna
it
say.
better because
No,
that
don't
wasn't.
I don't want to take
I
no
didn't
notes.
feel no parts of that
Well,
right
and
there.
that's fine. That's not, and that's fine. You don't have to feel any parts of it. But what I'm
right,
saying
so-
is that as a people, we've got to learn to discuss things that are happening with us.
Right, but and I think that sometimes when things happen, people should have the opportunity to discuss it when they are ready to, not
Yeah.
to be forced to because somebody has decided to write a book and now all of these
I had
things
stepped
are
away from
out.
the book, but y'all go on. Y'all was saying I wasn't interested in it.
How
And I
can
said,
you dismissive? Really?
No, that ain't what I said.
Okay, right. You said we go on. What's too old? No, what's too old to have a
I said,
baby?
no, I'm not interested in the book part. I'm interested in the fact that they keep secrets, that black people need to start actually discussing things.
Oh,
with
so
each
you
other.
wanted to change the whole subject and want us to talk about it?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what happened?
Yes, what she did.
Y'all missed
Yeah,
it.
she
We
did.
missed
No, I
it.
didn't miss
Okay.
it.
You
All right.
caught on, but she missed it. I said,
This what you don't have no comment
I said, I
on.
don't have no comment about her
Well
writing
then,
a
all
book.
right.
I have a comment
So
about
what's
us
too old to
keeping
have a
secrets.
baby? Are you being insensitive to your friends without kids? Like there was a woman who was making a comment about
yes.
somebody being, they were too old to have a kid, and it's this woman's first child, and I think she's like 42. And
Don't tell people you have
and so
babies.
were you're too old at 42 to have a baby, and so it's like, are you being insensitive to this woman who doesn't have a child? Like your baby can be born with this, and your baby can have all these problems, and you taking these risks, and you've already passed the baby making age, and blah 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 blah. So how insensitive is that, or do you agree with the fact that? Should she be making babies until her age gone, or is 40, 45 too old to be making babies?
Can I ask you a question? When do we get to tell grown people about when they can have a baby and how old they are? It's none of our business. It goes back to what we talked about abortions and all stuff. You make the choice for You make the choice for yourself. I should not be telling a woman who's 40 plus whether or not they could have a baby. I could care less. Do I have to take care of it? If I gotta take care of have is what you want. Have what you want.
I have a prime example. I have two sisters. One is my blood sister, and the other is my sister-in-law. And they are both 43, and they both decided to get some babies. My sister had a baby, and I am just tickled to death. And then my sister-in-law adopted two babies. And my comment to them was, wow, you all are really far behind. We're going to be gone. We're going to be on trips. I don't know who can keep those babies. And I've known people at all ages. Didn't somebody, Tamara Hall just had a baby. She's 50. Janet Jackson had a baby. She's 50. I had a manager who had a baby at 45. I'm like, congratulations.
Yeah.
Baby, do your thing.
Do your thing.
It doesn't bother me.
Guys, when you think about it, guys are doing it all the time.
Oh, all the time. Unsolicited advice.
Baby.
Listen, keep your advice to yourself. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, don't tell people about whether or not they can have a baby.
All right, so married after 40. Should you get married after you're 40, or should you just shack up?
Who cares?
Shack up. Is it okay to just shack up? Like, you like, man, this whole getting married thing may not be.
Well, I got two examples with that, and because we have another accountant in the room, you might agree with me.
Okay.
One is
Right.
One is it's a business. And the reason I say it's a business, if something happens, the government sees you as a married person. If something happens to you, you have certain rights to that individual as a person. So that's the reason that's a disadvantage if you're shacking. Because I hate for the family, because this happened to a lady who wasn't married to the guy. He died, and his family came in taking stuff. Listen, wait a minute. If you were married, then you would have some claim. But because you're not married, now you're in a bad position. That's why, I don't believe in shacking. The rest of you can do what you want. We can meet up in the middle. We can meet in the middle. If you're not going to be living with me and we ain't married.
Okay, but the reason I'm saying it because every time you move, right? So I need you to. Okay.
So it's funny. I had a preview.
Take it off of here and put it in your mouth.
I had a preview of these questions, and no matter how much I hate to admit it, I do agree with Country Keisha. Like that would be my only reason, and we've seen it
to
happen.
Shack up and not marry again.
To why you should marry and not shack up.
Okay.
Especially, and I think that might have a lot to do with when people, older people like 60s and 70s just go ahead and get married, because there is a benefit to that. There is still you can't claim your boyfriend on your tax return, and all those different things. And we've even seen it.
You don't have to be married to have rights. You can have power of attorney, or it can be written in a will.
Except that those things are harder to fight against.
Absolutely, the will.
So,
yes.
and those things can be fought against. But as a married woman, it's set you in a whole different ball game as far as the connection to your spouse.
Right. And we've even seen it with, unfortunately, one of our friends, and their parent died, and they had been with the woman for 20-something years, and she didn't get anything. In addition to that, the father had not even, now we're going to get into a finance class, he had not even looked back. He had 401ks from his job that he had been in for 40 years. He never took, one of them he didn't take his dead wife off of, let alone the girlfriend wasn't on, and then he didn't take his mama off off, so his daughter didn't even get no money.
See what
and
I'm
the mama
saying?
took the money. So if she had been married to him,
it's
she
her
would
money.
have gotten everything. It would
Now,
have negated
preach.
the
Now,
mama,
preach,
the
preach,
grandmama, the dead wife, all of that. So,
I had an
it is
older
a
friend
business.
And I
who
think a
was
lot of
dating
people
guy.
don't talk about doing that because nobody
At that
ever, you know,
age, at that
morbid,
age.
you know.
I had an older
It ain't
friend.
costing you nothing.
I had an older
Yeah.
friend that was
Nah, you're
dating a
right.
guy, and she says he's getting ready to go overseas to work a year. Offshore, what is it? Offshore, whatever it is. And I was like, he said I could stay in his house. And I said, fool, you better go to the courtroom and get married. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, if something happened to that man overseas, his family gonna put you out. As soon as they find out he's dead or something, they're gonna put you out. You don't have no rights and you won't have nothing to claim. And she had other children to be, minor
Okay.
children.
Though we live in a military town, they
We do,
always
too.
get married.
Yeah,
That's a
too.
big thing.
That's why.
In one of the
'Cause they
movies,
can't
my
bring them
worst
with
part
you.
in the movie, Navy SEAL. I don't know if y'all remember the old one, and it was the black guy who's the new guy. I don't know nobody's name. The State Farm guy and the president on the other show for him.
Yes,
State
yes.
And he
Yeah.
died. He got killed.
Allstate.
And when they came, Allstate. And when they came home, and as his body was there, she was sitting there boo-hooing. They were supposed to get married, but got caught in the middle of the wedding. They gave the flag to the mama. She was just crying. I was so devastated because they weren't married, so she didn't get anything.
And
Wow.
I expressed
Okay,
that
so-
to every female.
Okay. Life after lockup. Because you did an ex-con.
For me, it's a no.
So what if he went to white collar jail?
I don't give a damn. Because the reason I say no, and I don't want to eliminate people because
You talk before you think, baby girl.
okay, so let me tell you this.
Pause. Meditate. Okay.
go ahead,
So
go
let
ahead.
me say this. I feel like the system do something to them. And they have a certain mentality that for me of having your rights taken away, that I feel like I would have to challenge that mentality of not use free now. You can do stuff because sometimes
I can't with you. I need you to.
She has to make up stuff, don't she?
No, I'm
She
not.
just
It's
make-
the
Be the
truth.
opposite
They
and
tell
controversial.
You that prisoners
Yes.
have a prison mentality, and I'm like, I don't know if I could deal with the prison mentality of it all. Not
You wake
so
up
much.
swinging at you like, hey,
No,
don't
no,
touch
no.
my booty.
No, when he want me to tell him when to cut the lights out and when to get up. I need
Just
people
making
to know
up
that
stuff.
you free.
What you think, Mick? Could you marry an ex-con?
Is it somebody that I knew before and then something happened and then he went away? I'm always about.
Was
I
he
need the
innocent?
definition
But
of
he-
everything we talking about.
Was it murder? Did he kill his other bitch?
Did he
But
kill
here's
somebody
my
for
other
me?
thing.
Did he
So do
sell
y'all
some
think
sling some dope?
do y'all believe in being reformed?
Not always. Some people cannot be reforming. That's pedophiles.
Really?
Pedophiles. Yeah, I'm not known one reformed pedophile. They tend to cannot help themselves.
Okay.
You know pedophiles?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're on TV. Hell, they
don't
just
know.
arrested
Know them.
one, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh God.
They just arrested one, Jeffrey Epstein. We do know
I
him.
always have an exception.
Okay.
I apologize. I want to know more information.
Right, okay.
So if it was my guy, he got arrested, he was slanging, then we still together. It's highly likely.
Okay.
You know, if
Right.
he, kills,
Not
if he
together.
kills somebody for me, baby, come on home. I
Right.
got you.
Still not together. You kill somebody for me,
What?
that's on you, fool.
What?
Oh God.
You not together.
I got you.
You a murderer.
Okay. We got you to death, baby.
You
My
a kill
boo.
me.
My boo.
Else no.
So, you know, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. And then I was reading this book about that. It was an amazing book, but he was talking about how when you get out and you're ex-con and you begin to date, then you have to have that conversation. It changed the whole trajectory. And he's like, he actually went to jail at 17 years old for defending himself and killed the man. So when he tells that story, and it's early on, it stopped him dating for years because it was like he was going to be honest with him. But at the same time, it's like, who want to date somebody who killed? Now, I don't know the situation behind it, blah, 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 blah. So, and he was
prisoners get
like,
married every day. We know this. We know
life
people,
after lockup.
Hey, prisoners get married every day in prison.
Yeah.
Who married somebody? Oh, let me stop this.
All right,
I'm not
last
on the
thing.
list.
I didn't get their
Do y'all
permission
think-
to tell that story.
Okay,
Like
so
you've been using permission.
is Nike woke? Do you think them pulling the shoe with the Betsy Ross flag on there? Do you think, and Colin Kaepernick and his issue with it? Do you think Nike woke?
I think again, somebody need to be in the room. Cause I'm finding this out that we're not in the room. Somebody black ain't in the room to say, dude, this is insensitive. Because they were like, oh, Betsy Ross got a flag. Let's put it on there. And then you go, wait a minute.
Colin Kaepernick just let them know they didn't put
No,
it
but
out.
I'm
The shoe
saying
didn't get
before-
released.
But I'm just saying the idea Somebody need to be in the room to say, no, that's not a good idea. We need to have people in the room that say, no,
What was
that's
I
not a
watching?
good idea, dog.
Oh, I was watching what's Marlon Wayans? He has a show. Did you see
yes,
that episode?
Yes, and that's
And
why
so
I say that
his
his son had
was-
on that monkey ass shirt.
Yeah, his son was a model, and they came and they debuted it, and he had that monkey shirt. Do you remember that shirt? The Gap or somebody else?
Yeah,
Not Gap, whoever it was. I'm sorry, I
Eating a
apologize.
banana.
H&M.
Yeah, H&M.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but,
cut the
Came
boys
out-
off from
right,
H&M.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
with the monkey eating a banana.
Right. He was like, he looked around the room. He said, "You had one black person in this room, they would have told you, no, that's not something you want to do."
Just one would have been like, no, and the
Right.
whole room was
Right,
white.
whole
The
room was white. He was like, "Y'all didn't
white.
one person in here," and then the one person who did look like he was looking at him like, "You let this go."
And he was like, and they was like, well, we was thinking about a monkey and monkeying around, and it was like, but coming from a black person looking
Right.
at this, we're thinking about slavery and what they called us
Yes.
monkeys.
Yes.
So you need somebody. Oh man.
Yes.
My
And look who calling in. Who calling in, Keisha?
in.
Go ahead,
Right.
tell her who calling, Keisha. Who
Nobody.
calling in,
Silly.
Keisha?
I think Nike isn't woke, and
You
this
know?
goes back to what we
Those
said
callers,
before.
shut up.
It is. It's
Michelle gonna be
it's
so
a
bad.
business. I'm not paying her no mind.
Okay.
It could have been. I don't trust anybody at this point.
Okay.
It could have been a setup
Okay.
because they already know you have decided to back Colin Kaepernick on this whole issue. Now all of a
Right.
sudden you decide you want to release a flag, and we didn't have, and he's kneeling because of the flag. So give me no.
And
But
you
when
got
you
all the
first
black
signed
people
him, what
behind
happened?
Mm-hmm.
All of your sales went up because it was appropriate. Black people went out. A couple of people boycotted Nike. Woo woo woo.
Right, bought
But
them
sales
things.
went up. So when they
Money,
did the
money, money,
analysis,
money.
it was better to side with Colin than to not side with him.
Well,
Because
So
black
this could have been the same BS. So you know the
Yeah.
flag is his issue. You release the date. You don't release the shoe. You show that the shoe is
Talk
coming
about it,
out.
right.
Then you pull it back.
Right.
Oh,
You probably
I done
only
said
named
something.
20 of them.
We not doing nothing.
They
I go
Trump.
release it. So now you like Nike is the bomb. Where my Jordans at?
Nah, they
and you
pulled
go
the
spend
Trump.
some more
Yeah.
money. So
Right.
I mean, they could be on that right now.
You know
Okay.
why I say they pulled a Trump? You create the issue.
Yeah, and then
you
pull it
fix
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
I give you
All
that.
right.
That's 2 times today.
All right.
Okay,
girl.
y'all. Well, Keisha is back. We done
Literally.
had our little hiatus, our little vacation. We'll see you guys again next Thursday. But we do want to take a second to talk about Michelle and her business and some of the things that she's doing. How you can, Michelle, tell them how they can contact you, what services you provide, and just give them a little overview.
I do a little bit of everything. I would say Michelle D. Simon and Associates. You can go to
Slow
the
down.
World Wide Web, www.mdsandassociates15.com. You can find me there. I have a Facebook page. I have a Twitter page. I have an Instagram, IG. No, I don't do all that. I have a young guy who helps me with all of that.
That's how you
We
do it.
get inspiration on Thursdays and information on Tuesdays. So accounting, tax, and consulting, anything that you want to do. We are a full service firm. So businesses, individuals, not-for-profits. Hit
And
me
you
up.
don't have to
Give
be in
us
the
the
same city.
www.
You don't tell them.
MDS and AND Associates 15.com.
You
No,
don't have to
no.
be in the same city
You do
because
not.
we got this thing that's called technology.
Yes.
You
I
can
stuck
have your
around.
accountant be from anywhere.
Yes.
So listen, if you in Alabama and you need an accountant, you can call on Michelle to do the business.
Yes,
right?
you can. I can
Tell
do,
them,
yep.
Michelle.
I have
they can
clients
be in
across the
Africa.
country.
They can
Yes.
be in Africa.
They can.
All right,
Yep.
let's do it.
So I don't know if you wanted me to say anything else. I don't. Check me out. I mean, come like my page on Facebook, like I said, and you can
Is
get
it
a
MDS and
variety.
Associates on Facebook too?
Yep, MDS and Associates, and you can
15.
get information every Tuesday. You go to the website, go to the blog, and you'll see all the different topics we've talked about. How the new tax law can affect you. How if you have a hobby,
Not a
if
new
you have
tax
a
law gonna
hobby,
affect you negatively.
right? It's gonna be a new W-4 coming out. You know, that's just for tax stuff. If you have a small business and you want to do some accounting, if you want to
That's
set
it.
up your business, you have an idea and you want to set up your business. Yep, you can give me a call. Yep, that's me.
All right, so we just
Right
put her
there.
up. You can go in our comments if you want to get an easy connect to her. We just put it up so you can connect to her pretty easy. I messed up the first couple, so don't worry about that.
Jason, did you
You'll
hear
see
this?
the one with the connect to it.
My
So connect
cousin
to it.
Jason needs he needs
I got you. Whatever you need. Give me a
and
call.
Keisha, type yours over there too, so that we'll put in there before we sign off. So, okay, so we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
No problem.
You know, we rolling into our first year. We gonna keep doing this and keep about it and keep being crazy and keep talking about the issues and all that kind of stuff. We think we might start a little radio show, so we'll tag you guys in that. But I hear so many comments. When I went home, I heard people talking about how they tune in. Well, we're here, we talk about it. People always comment, so we're loving it. And we're hoping that our hard work pays off and eventually we can really make it a full-time gig someday and just really get in here and do our thing. So we appreciate y'all listening and tuning in from the penthouse, from the outhouse.
To the penthouse.
We out.
Two
I
different
know you was
point of
gonna do that.
views with the same name. What your name is? She didn't want to say it.
Keisha.
Keisha and Keisha.
This is what I did with that one. She sings.
Two different point of views with the same name.
Stop. What they name is?
Keisha and Keisha. Keisha, Keisha and Keisha. Oh, Keisha and Keisha.